potentially the best animated director working today. You don't know his name. I know you don't know his name. See, we don't discuss animation directors the same way we discuss live action film directors. This is why they're drawn to live action, to prove their chops and to let you know they're the real deal. We saw it with Brad Bird. Chris Sanders. This is the guy behind Lilo and Stitch, what I consider to be the last of the great Disney movies. The last great character to come out of Disney is Lilo and Stitch. He made a movie. It rocked my world. It blew me away. Completely entertained me. It's called The Wild Robot. And we gotta talk about it.
Quiet on the set!
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Action!
And on the weekends, guys, we're in the real rhythm here. A lot of cartoons, a lot of animation, but every single weekend on the AKAPAD, the Film Buff Podcast, that's me. This is my realm. This is my territory. Actually, welcome to my multiverse. You're in the Film Buff multiverse right now. This is the film realm. But on the weekends, we do cartoons and animation. Sometimes when we're overflowing, we got too many episodes coming down the pipeline. Sometimes we'll double dip on the weekends, and you'll get a cartoon in the morning and a movie at night. Call it, I keep wanting to call this Call of the Wild. The Wild Robot. It has one of the best 1 hour runs. So this movie's roughly, it's like a 2 hour, but the first hour is storytelling perfection. And this is when spoilers, I don't care. We have a robot. The robot is a service robot. He ends up in the woods, in the forest, on an island, somewhere. Along the way, this robot is just trying to learn what to do because it's been programmed and it's been designed and it has, it has directives and all of these things, all these tropes we know that these robots have because we've all seen a lot of robot movies. Then he befriends like a goose, a goosey goose, a wawa goose. And I don't know if it's a wawa goose. And he's got to teach it to fly. They're both abandoned. They're both orphans in a way. And then there we go. This movie has possums that I think are beyond hilarious. I always like Thumper and Bambi. These possums are 100 times more entertaining anytime Thumper shows up on screen in Bambi. So when we hit the moment where our goose needs to take flight for the first time, it nearly makes you want to cry. And the goose finds a flock right away. Right? Because everyone's migrating for the winter. And the feather comes down. And the robot grabs the feather. I mean, it is a feather moment I haven't seen since Forrest Gump. And it's so heartfelt. It's real. A real effing moment in an animated film. The fox character manipulates a robot to eat. We have a little bit of a back and forth between animals that are animals and animals that can talk and communicate. That's fine. This is a American animation cartoon trope. You have to embrace it and enjoy it. I believe the rest of the world has adopted the logic of that. Right? It everything comes down to Pluto and Goofy. If you guys are not familiar with that, just think about it. Report back and let me know. When this movie splits. Now, it's maybe a 4-act movie. I really want to call this 3 acts. But when it splits, we see that the migration, there's a like insulation, there's technology, there's a city, there's a little bit of this futuristic greenhouse, and it has robots with laser guns. And we go there, we have to go back to the island, and then we'll just call it the future complex, the future city the future greenhouse. They have to retrieve their robot, and this is where there's like a real split within this film, because we want more of the island, the forest, the animals, all of these characters slowly coming together. Now they come together when there's a conflict. The robot gets taken at the end. The goose is left with the island friends or with the other geese on the island. So they're split, but at the end of the movie, they end up back together and roll credits. It's satisfactory. It's nice. Very heartfelt, heartwarming. It's impossible not to enjoy this movie. It's impossible not to want other people to see this movie. And therein lies the actual success of an animated feature. It's not when we enjoy it. It's when we want other individuals, mostly our loved ones, to also enjoy this movie with us. That's what animation does. Live action does not have that ability. It doesn't have that draw. It doesn't even have that instinct. But when animation works on this level, it just sinks. And I believe we're up. Are we nominated for the Best Picture? Accolades right here. Academy Awards. Look, Best Original Score, Best Animated Feature, Best Sound. There you go. Chris Bowers for Best Score. Well deserved. The art direction. I love the idea that once winter hits and the robots, has someone needs to protect the animals, and all the animals go to sleep with the bear, which they don't want to do, but they have to, and the robot grows like moss and visually becomes a part of the island. It is such an amazing position visually, because by the end of the movie, he essentially goes back home, he has a mission to do, or what he's programmed to do. But we have visual notes of this robot character, very easy to follow visual notes of time, different environments, really hard stuff to do sometimes. I think the robot character is absolutely dead on. Chris Sanders, I feel like we should talk about his filmography, because this dude is an absolute weapon. He post Lilo and Stitch. Here we go. I mean, you do Lilo and there's very few animated directors that have like back to back, like really bangers. Lilo and Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon. Two separate companies, two separate styles of animation. It's such a transitional run. 2013, The Croods, which so many people dismiss. We will talk about that. 2020, live action, Call of the Wild, and that's why I said that earlier. Harrison Ford movie. Didn't quite pop, didn't quite make a lot of money. Looked expensive. That movie's easily over 100 milli. And then 4 years later, we get Wild Robot. The other films in which he was writer for is really, the last golden age of American animation. 90s Disney. Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Lion King, Mulan. Story writer, right? Like, not quite director. Fantasia 2000. You guys know, I consider Fantasia. Doesn't matter which version of Fantasia. Both of them are top 10 films. If I put them together, it's the top 3. AKAPAD. This is the definition of animation, what animation should do to its audience. On YouTube, be on the lookout. I've already ordered the art of this book. Not the art direction. I would say like the technical direction, like the technical art direction, which is how the rendered animation looks. I don't know what the industry term is for that. Maybe I just coined it. Somewhat inspired by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, and Into the Spider-Verse, where it just looks a little painterly, a little brushstrokey, a little movement, maybe less frames, maybe a little bit more choppy. I think those ones, clearly, both of those films, more choppy. Wild Robot basically improves what Mutant Mayhem and Into the Spider-Verse tries to do, I'll say. It's 1,000% worth paying attention to. I like this. I like that we're getting major giant releases, and you guys know too. I put DreamWorks over Pixar as of animation runs. I know we do a lot of hot takes here. This is the return of DreamWorks to animation in my eyes. The style and direction of this movie is of note. The music is absolutely perfect. The 1 hour mark is one of the best hours of animation I have ever seen. The movie ends with us not only wanting more, but wanting to share it with everyone that we know. I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a little bit of some time since I've seen an animated feature that I felt pull me in. So we're going to explore a little bit more on YouTube. We're going to go through the art of book, and maybe I'll do some live drawing because I really did like these characters. All right, AKAPAD, I love you.
Okay,
Rockin'.
that's a wrap.